Hello, I'm Taiba Majidwani. I'm from International Islamic University, Malaysia. I'm going to present the paper titled as Speech Emotion Recognition using Convolutional Neural Networks and Deep State Convolutional Neural Networks. The number of the paper is 25. These are the contents I will be discussing in my presentation. So, giving you the crux about the paper, we performed two experiments on two different architectures. One, the convolutional neural networks, and second, the deep state convolution neural networks. Both the networks, they were trained on the same database, that is the Savvy database. We evaluated the results and finally got the accuracy, prediction accuracy. Now the introduction. Speech is the most significant mode of the communication among the human beings, and also it has proven to be the proficient way of the human-computer interactions. The speech signal, they consist of the discriminative features as well as the effective features. So in order to learn those features which are embedded in the speech, we go for the speech emotion recognition. The speech emotion recognition is the classification of the methodologies which processes and simultaneously it classifies the speech signals to detect the emotions embedded in it. Speech emotion recognition system consists of the speech input, which is the speech signal. Second one, the speech extraction, where the extraction of the speech is done using the different techniques like the MFCC, LPCC, etc. After that, we go for the classification, which involves the two ways. One is the traditional way, and second one is the deep learning way. The traditional way consists of the HMM, which is the hidden Markov model, SVM, the support vector machine, etc. And the deep learning method consists of the deep neural networks, convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, etc. For this very paper, we have used the convolutional neural networks. So the proposed algorithm, firstly, there's the database. The database used for this paper or for the experiment is the Savvy database, which is the Surrey Audio Visual Expressed Emotion. Four males were used for the recording purpose. It consists of the 7 different emotions: anger, fear, happiness, disgust, sadness, surprise, and neutral. Each emotion consists of 60 utterances apart from the neutral, which consists of the 120 utterances. So the total number of utterances in this database is 480 utterances. But for our experiment, we only use the 240 utterances and only 4 emotions are used: uh, anger, sadness, happy, and neutral. The data set was divided into two. One is for the testing and second is for the training. For the testing purpose, we used the 30%, and for the training purpose, we used the 70% of the data. The speech signals present in the dataset, they were converted into the spectrograms. Nearly 240 spectrograms were formulated for the experiment purpose. There is a spectrogram of the anger, happy, sad, and the neutral. Now the first architecture is the CNN, the convolutional neural networks. The input of the architecture is the spectrogram, which is 256 cross 256 pixels. The CNN architecture consists of the convolutional neural networks, convolution layers, pooling layers, fully connected layers, and softmax unit. Firstly, the input is given to the convolution layers. We apply, then the filtration is applied, which is just adjusted when the training is done. Secondly, the activation function is also applied. Here we have applied the rectified unit, linear rectified unit. After that, the output from the convolution layers, which is we get feature maps. The feature maps, they are given to the pooling layer. The pooling layer, it just decreases the dimensionality of the feature maps. Then it's given to the fully connected layer. In fully connected layer, the neurons are present, and each neuron is connected to every other neuron. So after the output of the fully connected layer is finally given to the softmax unit for the classification, where we get the emotions. Here we have the different block size and the different number of the kernels, and here we see the different number of neurons. It is just we give it, or we change the numbers according to the flexibility of the architecture to gain more accuracy. Second is the deep strayed convolution neural network. The input is same, that's the spectrograms, but here instead of the pooling layer, we have used the special straits for the dimension reductionality, or we can say for the downsampling, we have used the special states. We have 5 convolution layers, and we can see the maximum number of the convolution layers are of the same size, block size 5 cross 5, and but the different number of kernels we have used. After that, the output of the convolution layers, as I already said, in the convolution neural network, we have the feature map. Those feature maps are reduced. They are down sampled by the states. Here we have used the 2 cross 2 pixel states. They are given to the flattened layer for the flattening the output of the convolution layer. Then the output of the flattened layer is fed to the fully connected layer. Here we actually give the dropout. We use the dropout technique, which actually omits the number of the neurons, because maybe the overfitting may arise. So that's why we go for the dropout in these layers. And lastly, we go for the softmax unit, which just classifies the emotions. Instead of the softmax unit, we can use the logistic unit, but because we are going for the 4 emotion classification, the logistic is used for the binary classification, and softmax is used for the multiple classification. Here we have used the same activation function, that is the linear rectified unit. Also, we apply the batch normalization in order to smoothen the architecture and work faster. Then experiment results. We performed the 2 experiments. The first experiment is the convolution neural networks, where we trained it on the Savvy database. The next is the we use the deep state convolution neural networks. The data, as I already said, was split in the ratio of 7:30. 70% was used for the training purpose and 30% used for the testing purpose. Sorry, we have used 3 set of epochs, 3 different set of epochs. One is the first we give the 500 epochs, then 1200, then 1500, in order to see the what will happen to the accuracy that we got. So the first, when we just run for the 500 epochs, we got this class. We got actually this is the prediction class, this is the actual class. The maximum accuracy we can see, or the prediction we can see was for the neutral, that's 93.3, and the less was for the anchor, but the overall prediction was 95.6%. Then when we gave the 200 epochs, we increased the number of the epochs to 1200. The accuracy also increased. Overall accuracy, it was 77.3%. And finally, the last set of epochs which we applied was 500 epochs, and we can see a good amount of increase in the prediction accuracy, that is the 79.4. And we can see that there has been a good increase in the anger emotion. When we gave the 500, when we ran it on the 500 epochs, the accuracy was only 43.3. When we increased the epochs, it became 71.2, and overall accuracy 79.4%. When using the DSCNN, the overall accuracy when given the 500 epochs was 68.3, and it abruptly changed, or it abruptly got increased when we increased the number of emotions. It got increased to 86.8%. Also, when giving the 500 epochs, the 100% accuracy was we got the result of the 100% accuracy for the neutral emotions. And finally, when we give the 500 epochs, when we run it from the 1500 epochs, we got the result of 87.8%. So there was not much difference between the 1200 epochs and the 1500 epochs. So this is the table of the distinguish between the CNN and the DCNN. When we give the 500 epochs when it was run over 500 epochs, accuracy was calculated for the CNN, and 68.3% was calculated for the DSN. Similarly, 1500 for the 1500, we got CNN for 79.4 and DSCNN for 87.8%. And seeing the training time, the DSCNN it used a lot of time for the training process. That's 184 seconds, but the accuracy was also good for the DSCNN. So the conclusion: the two experiments were actually carried out to check the effectiveness of the model, which is the state-of-art model, which is the CNN, and the DSCNN, which we proposed. So we got the good results for DSCNN, that when we increased the number of the epochs, it boosted the testing accuracy. For DSCNN, we got 87.8%, and for CNN, we got 79.4%. So our proposed algorithm outperformed the state of art, which is the CNN. These are the references I have used for my paper, and we like to express a good gratitude to the Malaysian Ministry for the funding for this research. Thank you.